There is a figure in ancient Egyptian history whose brilliance still echoes through time, yet most have never heard his full story. His name was Imhotep. Not just an architect, not merely a physician, not simply a priest. Imhotep was something more. A master builder, mystic, and keeper of esoteric knowledge. Thousands of years before Hippocrates, he was healing bodies. Before Da Vinci, he was mapping the harmony between man and the cosmos. Before Pythagoras, he understood the sacred nature of proportion. But why has his legacy been buried beneath myth? What if Imhotep wasn't just a man, but the embodiment of a lost science, one that merged geometry, sound, energy, and the human soul? He designed the first pyramid, the Step Pyramid of Saqqara, but hidden in its layers is a blueprint not only of stone, but of consciousness itself. So why don't modern historians explore this? Because Imhotep's knowledge challenges the official timeline of human advancement, and if we decode what he left behind, we might uncover principles that could shift how we understand healing, architecture, and the very structure of reality. This is not just about ancient Egypt. It's about rediscovering something we were never meant to forget. Stick with this. By the end, you may never see temples or yourself the same way again. The Step Pyramid of Saqqara wasn't just a tomb, it was a transmission device. Every angle, every chamber, every corridor was crafted with intention. Imhotep encoded sacred ratios into the stone, what some now call divine geometry. The proportions mirror not only human anatomy, but planetary motion and celestial alignment. Coincidence or consciousness? The pyramid's tiers aren't simply stacked, they represent a stairway of ascent from base instinct to higher awareness. And the internal shafts weren't ventilation, they aligned with key star systems, including Sirius and Orion. These weren't burial markers, they were spiritual machines, designed to attune the initiate to cosmic resonance. The limestone casing? It vibrated under specific frequencies, creating acoustic environments capable of shifting brain states. Modern science has only begun to grasp how geometry and sound can alter human consciousness. But Imhotep knew. He used architectural form to generate harmonic fields that could initiate healing, clarity, or even states of altered perception. Why is this important? Because we build today with steel and glass, but we've forgotten how to build for the soul. And Imhotep's structures weren't just monuments, they were gateways. Still watching? Then you're not just here for facts, you're here for the frequencies behind them. In the next part, we'll explore the deeper mystery, how Imhotep's legacy influenced future secret societies, and why his name appears in unexpected places. Stay with us. Long after Imhotep's death, his name refused to fade. The Egyptians deified him, something nearly unheard of for a mortal. He became Imhotep the Wise, the healer, the master architect. But the mystery deepens. Centuries later, Greek scholars arrived in Egypt and encountered stories of a divine man who unified medicine, philosophy, and sacred geometry. They called him Asclepius. Some believe Asclepius was modeled after Imhotep. His symbols, his temples, even his healing rods eerily aligned. Coincidence or continuity? And as centuries turned, whispers of Imhotep's principles surfaced again, not in open history books, but in the guarded teachings of secret societies. The Freemasons revere the master builder, their symbolic tools, the compass, the square, the pillar, echo ancient Egypt's sacred science. And guess who often appears in their esoteric texts? Imhotep. Because he wasn't just the architect of the first pyramid, he was the archetype of the initiated builder, the one who understands how form shapes function, how geometry shapes consciousness. It's said that true builders don't just stack stones, they encode wisdom. So the real question is, what exactly did Imhotep leave behind? And who has been guarding that legacy ever since? If this is stirring something in you, leave a comment. What do you think was the real purpose of the pyramid at Saqqara? And if you're finding value here, maybe there's a reason this video found you. Consider subscribing. We go deeper with each step. Next, we'll uncover how Imhotep's healing methods challenge modern medicine and why energy was always at the heart of his approach. Stay tuned. Before Hippocrates, before Galen, before modern medicine, there was Imhotep. He was known not only as a builder of temples, but a healer of kings. His medical texts, though mostly lost, were referenced by later Egyptian physicians. But what few mention is this: Imhotep's healing wasn't just physical, it was energetic. Temples attributed to his work contain specific acoustic chambers, stone rooms that amplify sound at precise frequencies. Why? Because he understood what many are rediscovering today. That sound alters cellular behavior. That vibration can heal tissue. That energy precedes matter. He didn't treat symptoms. He worked with the field, adjusting harmony where there was discord. And this wasn't metaphor. The ancient Egyptians spoke of the Ka and Ba, subtle energetic bodies around the physical form. Imhotep's healing practices aimed to align those fields, restore balance, and allow the body to regenerate naturally. Even the name Saqqara may derive from Sokar, an ancient deity of transformation and resurrection. Was the pyramid a healing center, a vibrational chamber, a stargate for the soul? Modern researchers now test how certain tones, like 111 Hz, activate parts of the brain associated with intuition and restoration. But Imhotep didn't need machines. He had geometry, resonance, and an understanding of the body as a temple. If this vision of healing fascinates you, drop a comment. Would you trust energy medicine over pills? And if you're still here, maybe your inner healer is remembering something. In the next part, we'll explore how Imhotep's knowledge vanished and who might have hidden it. Don't go anywhere. If Imhotep's wisdom was so advanced, so sacred, then why was it lost? Or better asked, who made sure we forgot? As dynasties shifted and foreign empires rose, Egypt's sacred sciences were targeted. The temples were ransacked, the scrolls were burned, and the priesthoods, keepers of the knowledge, were silenced. By the time of the Roman conquest, Imhotep's teachings had been absorbed into mystery schools, hidden behind layers of symbolism and oath. The Emerald Tablet, Hermetic texts, alchemical manuscripts. Some say these are echoes of his legacy, filtered through time, but the name was scrubbed from popular memory. No mention in mainstream medicine, no honor in modern architecture, no reverence in spiritual history. Why? Because Imhotep represented integration of science and spirit, of body and soul, of heaven and earth. And that kind of knowledge, liberating, unifying, cannot coexist with control. So it was buried. But here's the twist. It never truly disappeared. It was encoded, passed through symbols, structures, and secret lineages, waiting for a time when humanity was ready to remember. And maybe that time is now. Still watching? Then you're not here by accident. Drop a comment if this resonates. Has history been rewritten to keep us disempowered? And if you're part of the few ready to reawaken these truths, consider subscribing. In the next part, we'll decode the geometry behind Imhotep's work and why certain forms unlock consciousness itself. Let's keep going. Imhotep didn't just design buildings, he crafted energetic instruments. To the untrained eye, His architecture looks simple, stacked stone, symmetrical lines. But beneath the surface lies sacred geometry, the golden ratio, the square and the circle, the 3-4-5 triangle. These weren't decorative, they were keys. Keys to unlocking resonance between structure and soul. Every measurement in the Saqqara pyramid mirrors universal constants, ratios found in the human body, planetary orbits, and DNA spirals. Coincidence? Or a conscious attempt to encode cosmic order into physical form? Even the number of steps, 6, was no accident. In Egyptian metaphysics, 6 symbolizes the completion of form and the readiness for transcendence. It's a portal number, a bridge between the material and the divine. And here's the deeper mystery. Sacred geometry isn't just about structure, it's about state. When you meditate inside a proportionally tuned chamber, your brain waves shift, your heart rhythm synchronizes, your awareness expands. Imhotep built for that, not just to house bodies, but to initiate souls. Temples weren't for worship, they were transformation engines. Modern architects build for function. Imhotep built for frequency. Still with me? Drop a like if this part of the journey opened something new. And don't forget to leave a comment. What geometric form speaks most to you? Next, we'll explore how Imhotep's legacy lives on in places you'd never expect. Cathedrals, temples, and even city layouts. Stay curious. You may think Imhotep's influence faded with the sands of Egypt, but look closer. In the Gothic cathedrals of Europe, the same sacred ratios appear again. Golden spirals, rose windows, and pointed arches tuned to acoustics, not aesthetics. Many of these churches were built by operative masons, initiates of hidden schools. They whispered of a legendary master builder who taught that spirit could be summoned through stone. His name wasn't spoken, but his blueprint lived on. In Washington, D.C., obelisks rise and domes echo celestial alignments. In Paris, the Louvre's glass pyramid stares across centuries. Even Leonardo da Vinci, obsessed with proportion and man's divine geometry, studied in silence what some say were Imhotep's principles, transmitted through underground streams of knowledge. This isn't about idolizing the past. It's about tracing the current beneath time. Imhotep's work wasn't national or religious. It was cosmic, a language of light and structure that survives because truth doesn't die. It hides, it waits, and it finds those ready to see again. So maybe the question isn't, where did Imhotep go? But why did his knowledge come back now? Still feeling this? Then consider sharing this video with someone who needs a reminder that mystery still breathes beneath modern stone. And comment, have you ever felt architecture speak to something deeper in you? Up next, we close the journey by asking, what was Imhotep really trying to leave behind? Let's finish strong. So who was Imhotep really? A healer? An architect? A philosopher lost to time? Or was he something more? A messenger from a civilization that remembered how to build in harmony with the cosmos, how to shape stone like sound, and how to lift the soul through structure. He didn't just raise a pyramid, he raised a question, one that still echoes through halls of granite and beneath cathedral domes. What happens when we build with wisdom? What happens when we remember that the world around us is a mirror of the world within? Maybe Imhotep wasn't meant to be worshipped. Maybe he was meant to be followed, not in faith, but in frequency, to rebuild, not monuments, but meaning. So if something in this story sparked a memory in you, a distant echo, a resonance you couldn't quite explain, then don't ignore it, because perhaps you too are a builder, not with bricks, but with vision. And if this journey stirred something inside you, share it. Let someone else remember. Drop a comment below. What if we've all been walking through forgotten temples without realizing we're part of the design? And if this isn't your first time hearing the call, then maybe it's time to answer. Subscribe, and we'll continue walking through the echoes together.